You know, new buyers make common mistakes. It's really not their fault. They're new. They don't know. So all I'm trying to do is share just a little knowledge I have from being a land broker for the last 15 years to maybe help somebody avoid a mistake or two. You might have listened to a couple of videos already, heard a couple of mistakes. Well, here's a third one here. Not really walking the property out. Now, there are people, and I've shown them property, they want to go and touch every tree, and it wears you out, man. But I certainly get it. It's the desire to understand the property and know all the ins and outs of it. The good and the bad and the ugly is what I say. But there are a lot of people, they just drive down the road, or they're with a real estate agent, and the agent's pointing out the window and going, that's it out there. And they go, oh, it's nice. And they see the tops of some trees and go, oh, it's got some timber on it. And they see this, that, and the other, and they think it's good. Well, no, you got to walk the property. You really got to get it under your boots to know what it's about. For instance, on this particular tract, when you ride it from the road, and we're looking at it to possibly buy it, you ride it from the road, you can see the crowns of a lot of pine trees out there, and you say, oh, it's loaded with good pine trees. Then when you get into the property and study it a little bit, you learn a lot of the acres are taken up by a creek bottom. And there's really not much down there. So there goes a lot of the pine acres right there that you were looking to cut and get some money back. The other thing that I found on this tract is that all the boundary lines are not marked. Now, 2 of the 5 sides are marked. I'm standing by one right now. Because it adjoins the largest private landowner in North America. If you know who Red Paint is, you know who that is. Well, they marked their line, so consequently, it marked the boundary for this property as well. These guys are good at marking lines, and it matches my GPS, so I'm real comfortable with the markings here. But there are 3 other sides, 3 other boundaries on this property. It's a little odd shape that are not marked. You know why? Because I've walked them, and they're just... There's no markings on the ground. The reason being, this tract was split out of a larger tract years ago, family property, and when they divided it up, they just didn't mark the lines between the family members. But now, everybody's died. The people are trying to sell it. New folks are coming along. They don't understand all those boundary understandings that, you know, John had with Cousin Susie. Well, now whoever buys this tract really needs their lines marked. And the only way to understand that, know that, is to go and see that there are no markings on the ground. This tract is going to have to be surveyed. It doesn't have to be surveyed to buy it. It's got a great legal description, and the acreage is good, but it's got to be surveyed so that these lines can be marked if anybody wants to do anything out here and they don't want to butt up against the line, or they want to keep other folks off of their property. They're going to have it surveyed, to have it blazed so that their lines are clearly marked. And that is a mistake that a lot of new buyers make. They don't thoroughly walk the property to find all the little things about it that aren't necessarily deal breakers, but they're things they need to understand that they've got to deal with at some point in the future. Like the timber's not all it's cracked up to be from the road. It's going to have to be surveyed so that some lines can be marked, a couple of things like that. And I'm not through walking the property. I may find some more things that are going to be concerning to me. So if you're a new buyer, walk the property, get good and comfortable with it. Maybe walk it with somebody that's knowledgeable that can point out some specific things that you may have missed. There's nothing wrong with not knowing. The problem is not knowing and then not searching out the information so that you can know. So educate yourself, walk the property, make sure that you love it, all the good and the bad, the ugly, from the inside, not just riding up and down the road. Thanks for watching.